What is going on, guys? It's your boy ShadyMikeGaming, and we are back with another NBA 2K23 jump shot fix. Today, it's Paul George. Now, funny thing about this, I wasn't even planning on working on PG right away, but a subscriber by the name of Aramis Jones reached out and said, hey, I've got a pretty dope looking Paul George jump shot. And I checked it out. I agreed it looked great. I made some tweaks to it to get accurate hand placement and things of that nature. And this ended up being the most incredible Paul George jump shot I've ever seen. This actually might be the most incredible jump shot I've seen, period, in a video game. So I got to say, though, all credit to Aramis. This shot would not be possible without him and reaching out and really giving us the blueprint for the jump shot. So shout out to him. I shared a little bit early with the members of the channel, and all the feedback was really positive. Everybody seems to really like it. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Other than that, guys, be sure to like the video. It helps out a ton. And also be sure to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming jump shots. We're going to start next up. We've got Jason Tatum coming up, so stay tuned for that. Consider hitting that join button on the channel. I'm giving all of my members, kind of early access to my jump shots, sliders, and things of that nature. Got a lot of cool content coming down the pipeline. But other than that, guys, enjoy the video. Let's get right into Paul George. So when it comes to Paul George's base, he's known for doing this little scissor kick motion at the end of his shots. Before this year, we were not able to capture this. We just didn't have any bases that do it. This year now with the Kevin Knox base, it is literally a perfect match for Paul George. I couldn't think of using a more accurate base for PG.
Points. Turned it over 4 times. Here's Paul George. That was good. George with that sweet stroke.
As we move over and transition to his release, Paul George is going to have a little bit of a higher release point. What we're going to be looking for here is just the hand placement, right? That right elbow is a little bit higher than the left. You look at the hand placement of the offhand. Now, when you take a look at the stills, it looks phenomenal. It's very accurate to what we've seen from PG, and even the motion, guys. The motion, he's known for doing that short arm motion on some of his shots. Not all the time. Sometimes he'll hold the follow through and we'll get that with shot timing. But for the most part, we're going to see that short arm motion where he doesn't fully extend his shooting arm. All right, so when we take a look at the rest of Paul George's game for the signature jump shot, this is it. We're using the Kevin Knox base. The release is Paul George blended perfectly with Jimmy Butler. The Jimmy Butler release really adds that snappiness, that short arm motion to Paul George's shot. In order to get, if you ever have anything like a base or something like that that's not showing up, sometimes you got to lower the height to make that base show up. As we move over to the moving jump shots for Paul George, we'll start with the free throw. We've got a Paul George free throw form. We used it last year, and it even looks like it might be a little bit improved this year. It's pretty perfect, so we're going to be sticking with it. For the dribble pull-up, guys, we're going with Nate Robinson. Honestly, the Nate Robinson pull-up could literally just be called the Paul George pull-up. It's perfect for him. It has a lot of leg motion throughout the shot, so we used it last year. We're going to use it this year. No reason to change it now. For the spin jumper, guys, we're going with Pro. The real reason we're going with Pro is I actually prefer the Paul George spin, or excuse me, the Trae Young spin jumper, but this year I just can't find it. Like, I can't make it show up for him. I've changed his height, I've done everything, so we're going to use Pro. I prefer Trae Young, the same one we used last year, but I can't get it to show up on next gen. Obviously us PC players can, if you're on PC, you can just put it there for him, so there's no issues there. For the hop jumper, guys, I am going with basic for Paul George this year. 2 reasons. Number one, it does have that behind the back step back that we've seen Paul George do a lot, but the number one that I look for on the hop jumper, he does this kind of like a pound step back with his left hand. He dribbles with his left hand and still does the step back on the left side of his body. It's kind of unique. You don't see a lot of guys do step backs that way, where they're still dribbling with the same hand on the same side. Maybe you do, but it's hard to explain. The footage will show it more clearly though. As we move to the layups and dunks, guys, we go with the Russell Westbrook layup package, same one that we used last year. We use this for guys that have that tendency to kind of pick their dribble up a little bit early as they're on their way to the rim. I'll show the dunks next, guys. Don't have a lot of dunks from Paul George. Again, I went off footage of this previous season that wasn't doing any crazy dunks. Feel free to add back the 360s. You know, feel free to add back all the crazy dunks that he did, you know, when he was maybe in OKC or Indiana for that matter. But as of right now, guys, Paul George is not, you know, really doing any crazy dunks for us as of late. As we move over to the post game, guys, we're going to go with post fade normal 2. The reason being is because when Paul George does his fade, specifically going to his left, he doesn't have a leg kick. So normal 2 captured that the best. The only other thing that I changed was the hop shot. I went with basic because when he does a kind of like a step back out of the post, he kind of like takes like an extra step. Last year we used Devin Booker for that, but again, can't get the Devin Booker post hop shot to show up, so basic does the same thing, so that's why I went with it, and it's really accurate to what we've seen from Paul George.